Today, Maryland's Governor Wes Moore has issued officially just minutes ago, in fact, thousands of pardons related to misdemeanor marijuana possession convictions. He did it just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, he signed an executive order pardoning about 175,000 such low-level convictions. Maryland legalized recreational use of marijuana last year. So let's bring in our justice correspondent, Jamal Andrews, for more. Jamal, good morning. So tell us how residents with misdemeanors of marijuana possession will immediately benefit from this ruling.
Yeah. According to the governor, you're looking at 175,000 people that will have these convictions wiped out. Not only that, but 100,000 of them that will be directly impacted right now. There is a process they have to go through to find who has possession charges attached to other charges, and then sort of take that conviction off of their record and potentially adjust their sentencing time. But one of the more interesting bits of this announcement was specifically around paraphernalia. Essentially the idea that with so many of these convictions, specifically in Maryland, about 18,000 of them are not actually related to cannabis, but to just having the paraphernalia to use or consume cannabis. And so even without having it on your person, these convictions exist related to some Marylanders. And so we'll have to see exactly what comes of that as well. But that is one of the first in the country to specifically include that provision. Here's a little bit from Governor Wes Moore discussing specifically how legalization is important, but not the end-all, be-all, and what has to come next. Listen.
Having a conviction on your record means a harder time with everything. Everything. From housing to employment to education. It doesn't erase the fact that people who were arrested for cannabis 3 or 4 or 40 years ago still have those convictions on their records to this day. We cannot celebrate the benefits of legalization if we do not address the consequences of criminalization.
Now, a pardon is different from expungement. That's an important note. These convictions will not show up on a background check, but they will technically still be on these individuals' record. But again, presumably the governor believes that this kind of action will help with those things, those housing applications, those employment applications. Although the Attorney General also mentioned that they still have work to do. One of the more shocking stats from this press conference was that 70% of the prison population in Maryland are Black, are African Americans, and 30% of the state population are Black Americans. And so again, them even pointing out that there is still work to do in Maryland, but according to the governor, a big step here and a history-making announcement out there in Maryland.
And the governor made a fascinating point there, because obviously society has moved on this issue with the legalization of marijuana. So now we're going back, cleaning up the record. And, he makes an interesting point in that regard. So 175,000, not a small number. And the racial disparity that you pointed out as well. Thank you, Jamal.